Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you your November 2022 TarotScopes. It is mind-blowing that this is where we're at, and I have this deep sense of urgency that I can't seem to shift and I can't seem to shake. I've been paying attention over the last couple of days to conversations that I've had with clients, messages that have come through from Spirit when I'm having my consults with clients. And there's definitely the sense of urgency. There's definitely the sense of we need to hurry up, we need to hurry up, we need to hurry up. Now, it's interesting because I sort of check in with Spirit and say, hurry up with what? Like, what are you specifically referencing, or what are you specifically wanting us to do? And the message that keeps coming through is that we momentum is picking up. Okay, we are moving towards a whole new reality. We are moving into very much unknown territory, and I know the future is unknown territory. The future is something we've not experienced or done before, but it's almost like we have been prepared for something big, for something major that is going to take place, a huge shift that is going to happen. And we have a lot of work to do individually and collectively. We have, and this is why Spirit keeps saying, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, the sense of urgency that's coming through. Because if we don't get our ducks in a row, if we don't sort ourselves out, if we don't allow ourselves to have the understandings that we need to have, we're limiting and restricting ourselves in all we are and all that we do. So when I connect with Spirit and I get the sense of urgency that keeps coming through, it's almost like Spirit to say, we have to do the work. We have to look within. We have to, each one of us have to work on ourselves. Let's stop looking at other people. Let's stop judging other people. Let's stop being critical of other people and what they're doing and how they're doing it. And let's all internalize and let's focus on our own selves and ask ourselves, are you happy with who you are? Have you done the work that you needed to do? Have you processed your trauma, your pain, your hurt from the past? Are you in a place of happiness right now? Are you excited about your future? I mean, these are a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lot of you are going, no, 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 no. And this is the work that needs to be done. We need to get ourselves in a place where we are comfortable, where we are happy, where we are burden-free. Now, let's be completely honest. None of us could ever be burden-free. None of us could ever actually get ourselves into that place where we don't have a worry or a stress, because life is tough, life is hard. But our outlook is shifting. The way that we are perceiving life is shifting. The way that we are behaving and what matters is shifting. But if we're staying in old regimes and old processes, old methods and old systems, we can't progress. So when the sense of urgency comes through, it's like Spirit is saying, it's time to do an upgrade. It's time for you to adjust your methods, your processes, all of those kind of things in order to be fully aligned with the new reality that's coming through for us. I have, on again, so many occasions heard from Spirit that 2023 is going to be massive. 2023 is the reason why we've had the last couple of years that we've had. 2023 is going to just, the way we enter and the way we exit are going to be so radically far apart from each other. I can't actually even put it into words, but we need to understand that it's time to process, to heal, to deal, to unwind, to unpack, to just not carry any of those stresses into the new year. We need to make sure that when we go into 2023, that we are going in ready, open, transparent, excited, enthusiastic, motivated, but we need to leave the past behind because it doesn't serve us anymore. It doesn't serve us any purpose or any function. So very, very interesting. Friends, you're here for your November 2022 TarotScope. So I record this intro. Everybody gets the same intro. So I record the intro once, then I switch the camera around and I give you for your particular zodiac. I just want to show you what cards I'm going to be working with for our TarotScopes this month. My tarot deck of choice is this amazing CS Tarot. CS Tarot is one of my all-time absolute favorite go-to decks. It is what I refer to as my go-to, but it's because it's the original simplified Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. It's like me going back to basics. It's like getting rid of all other people's expectations or other people's ideas or other people's ideals, and just getting back to the core of what tarot is all about. So, and that's why I thought it was so appropriate to use it this month, because this deck speaks the truth that we need to hear. So I'm going to use that CS Tarot for us today. And the Oracle deck that I'm going to work with is the Wisdom of the Oracle. So Wisdom of the Oracle is another very simple Oracle deck. Again, one that carries such strong truth. One that's images are pretty and beautiful, but its messages just sort of get rid of all the clutter, get rid of all the gumph, and just get straight to the point. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to stick to the same format as I used last month, because it's to the point, it's direct. There's not an excess amount of waffle. So the messages may be fairly short. The messages will be surely to the point, and I'm hoping it gives you whatever guidance you need to do the work that you need to do, so that you can clear yourself of burdens and baggage and drama and chaos. As we get closer to 2023, our heart spaces become more open, our minds become more open, and our souls are just ready for whatever the next year has to bring. So friends, I'm going to switch the camera around and let's get started. Right, Cancerians, let's get into your reading and see what the month of November has in store for you. We're going to start with this card over here, which is going to give you the theme for the month ahead. So what is the month of November? What is the theme for the month ahead? And we have got yin. So this is quite interesting. You know, you hear people talk about the yin to my yang, the yin yang, and it is about being half of a whole. So it's almost about finding that side of yourself. And I love the fact that we've got the feminine version of it here. So it is about, you know, understanding that your emotions are such a huge part of who you are. Your emotions are such a huge aspect of your life, of your psyche, of your personality. And it's about understanding that, you know, just because it's half doesn't mean it's less, doesn't mean it's more. It's about understanding the process of that yin in your life. But it's also about understanding that sometimes being a little bit more feminine, and sometimes being a little bit more emotional, and sometimes allowing somebody else to take the lead is what's needed, what's necessary, and exactly what is right for you in this moment. So it doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine as you watch this, but it's about understanding that we are all equally masculine and feminine. We have masculine traits, we have feminine traits. In this particular case, we're looking at the feminine traits. So the month of November for you, Cancerians, is going to be about embracing your femininity. It's about embracing that nurturing aspect of yourself, that part of yourself that is just as important as your control, your leadership, and your dominance. It's about understanding that sometimes to be quieter, calmer, sometimes to allow somebody else to take over, to allow somebody else to nurture you, to allow somebody else to make the big decisions, the tough decisions for you, is exactly what you need. So understanding that you can't have one without the other. You can't have control and dominance without being soft, caring, and nurturing as well. So the theme for the month ahead is definitely more connected around your feminine aspects. We're going to move into the tarot now, Cancerians, and the first tarot card we're going to look at is a card that's going to describe the past lessons. So I'm not talking about the past month. I'm talking about the past few days, the past few weeks, the past few months, the past for you at this moment. What was the overarching lesson that you needed to experience, that you needed to go through? And here we have the Ten of Swords. Now, Ten of Swords normally, under normal circumstances, is not a card we want to see in a tarot deck, in a tarot reading, because the Ten of Swords is about literally having 10 swords stabbed in your back. Nobody wants that stuff, okay? But considering this card has come through in the lessons, that means lessons are done, okay? So Ten of Swords is the card of giving up. It's the card of succumbing. It's the card of just feeling so overwhelmed and so overburdened that we literally just lie down and die, okay? We give up. So the experiences, and to me, the word that I'm hearing from Spirit is succumbing, all right? It's about giving in, and it's about succumbing to it. And isn't that the feminine as well? So I'm understanding this. So when I look at your lessons of the past couple of days, weeks, and months, things have been difficult. Things have been tight. You may have been experiencing all sorts of all sorts of, I want to say, anguish and agony within yourself around your life, your circumstance. This doesn't have to be a relationship. This doesn't have to be financial. This doesn't have to be work. It could be all of that. It could be so much more. But the lessons of the past have been about understanding how much you can actually handle, about how much you can actually deal with, and how strong you actually are. Because even though this is the card of succumbing, of giving in, of just surrendering to your trauma, to your drama, to the chaos, to the experiences of life, it's also the card that says, as soon as the sun comes up, as soon as that new day dawns, new opportunities to change your circumstance, to get back into control, to take over again, and to be stronger, braver, and more capable are presented to you. So it's when you give in, when you succumb to the situation, that suddenly we see ways of changing our circumstances. It's about not being afraid to be vulnerable, okay? And understanding that in that vulnerability, because that's what we've got with the yin, in that vulnerability, you know, circumstances change, situations change, people suddenly look at you in a whole different light, and through there, opportunities for improvement, for growth, for repair, it takes place. Oh, that is so interesting. So the lessons of the past for you Cancerians have been about understanding that just when you give in, just when you give up, that suddenly everything shifts and everything changes, and opportunities present themselves, opportunities to be better, to be stronger, to be more powerful, to be more in control of your situation. All right. I'm going to leave that card for last, and I'm coming down to the bottom row. We're looking at this tarot card over here, and Cancerians, this is the card of what you need to avoid during the month of November. So what is something that does not require your energy, that does not require your attention? What is something that you need to avoid this month? And we have got the Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles is about trying to hang on to everything. Two of Pentacles is the card that says, you know, when everything's all topsy-turvy, as you can see with the water behind him, when everything is all topsy-turvy, about trying to maintain your balance, trying to keep perfectly level and to keep perfectly sane. You need to avoid trying to keep perfectly level and perfectly sane. You need to embrace your emotions. You need to let the emotions flow. No holding back. Okay, because when you try and maintain balance, when you try and keep everything working the way that it needs to, you end up being taken advantage of. You end up falling off the wagon. and Cancerians, this is something that we need to be mindful of, that this month, or we are just going to, if you're angry, be angry. If you're sad, be sad. If you're frustrated, be frustrated. Embrace those emotions, that emotional side of yourself, instead of always trying to keep it under control. All right, let's not suppress emotion. Let's not try and keep everything balanced and everything happy, because it's not what the month of November is about for you. So we're going to avoid balance. What is it that you should embrace during the month of November? And here we have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is about understanding your progress, okay? It's about recognizing how far you've come and how much further you still have to go. This card, the artwork on this card is he's reached a point in his journey. He's reached a point in his experience, and he's sort of doing a check-in and saying, okay, and I'll bring the card closer so that you can see. In the background here, we've got a couple of ships. This golden area you see is actually water. And there are these three ships. We don't know whether they are coming or going, but that is his final destination. He wants to get onto the ship. He wants to get to the shore so that he can get onto the ship, so that he can move on to his next experience. So coming up to the top of the mountain, as he now gets to see how close he is or how far he is. So what you need to embrace, Cancerians, is doing a little spot check of yourself as to how far you are, how much further you have to go. But again, we're not going to try and maintain status quo. We're not going to try and maintain equilibrium. We're going to be honest with ourselves and say, all right. And then if you get angry, frustrated, happy, sad, enthusiastic, excited, just embrace that emotion. Don't beat yourself up because you don't feel as if you're far enough, or you don't feel as if you've done enough. Don't try and keep a balance and say, okay, well, let's maintain steady pace. Be honest with yourself. If whatever you're feeling, embrace those feelings. But you also need to embrace the fact that you have made progress, that you are a certain part, a certain way through your journey, through your experience, and that is what needs to be embraced this month. And then, Cancerians, we have another card over here of what you should actively pursue during the month of November. So what is something that truly, truly needs your attention and needs your energy in the month? And here we have the Page of Wands. I love it. So, you can see that he's dressed beautifully. You can see that he's like wearing all his fancy, and he feels like he's very, confident and very secure of himself and very comfortable with who he is. But he also, as much as he is comfortable and confident in himself and in his own state of being and his own state of mind, as much as he is quite comfortable in that space, he also understands and realizes that he doesn't really know everything that's going on around him. He doesn't necessarily have all the information, but he's rocking up. He's getting dressed and he's arriving and he's there and he's fully embracing the experience and he's fully participating in everything that's going on around him, even though he doesn't necessarily understand everything. So I am going to say to you, so Cancerians, as much as we're saying this month is about embracing the emotions and allowing the emotions to flow, we're not going to be focusing on maintaining balance with our emotions. We're going to emote, okay? We're going to release emotion. We're going to just be our normal, natural, emotional self. But we are going to pay attention to how far we've come and how far we still have to go to reach our goals. And even though you may have questions around, will I do it? Can I do it? Will it be okay? Will I manage? Can I do it? Blah, blah, blah. Even though you still have those questions, you are going to rock up. You are going to look good and you are going to do your best all the time, because every day is a learning. Every day is gaining more knowledge, gaining more insight, gaining more understanding. And that is important for you. But it is about recognizing, releasing, and processing your emotions. All right. So Cancerians, I have one more tarot card over here. And this tarot card is just an additional message from Spirit. Just anything that maybe I missed, anything that I didn't maybe pick up on that Spirit feel is important for you to know right here and right now. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is very interesting because, and I'm putting it down because I want to say to you that these two have very similar messages for you today. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles is definitely talking to our Three of Wands. So Three of Wands, we were acknowledging how far we've come, and we were looking to see how much further we need to go. All right, here we look at our Knight of Pentacles. He's sitting on his horse. He's walking, he's progressing, he's moving. But if you have a look at the horse, they're actually at a standstill at the moment. And not because they don't know where to go, or not because they don't know what's going on, but because he, Mr. Knight on the horse, is wanting to just look at his options and say, like, to see which is the easiest, quickest, best route to take. Because he can continue straight, he could go that way around, he can go this way around, or he could even go further around and come in at another bridge. So he's got options, okay? He's got options, and he's weighing out his options. He's weighing out his options for what is actually available to him and what's the best way of accomplishing and achieving his goals. But what I like here is that both of these are looking towards the future. Both of these are looking forward. And Cancerians, this is something that you need to understand, is that, you might not have all the information, but if you're mindful, if you're aware, if you're conscious, if you're conscious of your state of being, if you're conscious of your strategy, if you're conscious of your abilities, you will have the success that you're looking for. But when you're fooling yourself and trying to keep a balance, you're not going to achieve. So rather understand that some things we're just going to put down and leave, and we're going to focus on other things for the month ahead. And we have one more oracle card here. And Cancerians, the message of this oracle card for you is, what do you have to look forward to? What's coming up for you in the future? What are we working towards? And here we have the truth be told. I love that. We have this beautiful little owl, and his whole body is like this window into a whole nother world. And, when you get close enough, the truth will reveal itself. So interesting, absolutely, because Cancerians, this is Spirit saying to you that, allowing your emotions to flow, allowing yourself to nurture yourself, allowing others to nurture you, allowing other people to take the pressure off, and for you to just be in this emotional bubble of safety, of security, of compassion, of love, of understanding is important, okay? And through this experience, there are going to be some hard truths. Through this experience, there are going to be some true truth that's going to be revealed to you, okay? And the only way that the truth is going to be revealed to you is if you stop trying to keep it all together and just allow your emotions to flow, but understand that we are working towards something. And sometimes we have to just stop and look to see how far we've come. But you also need to recognize that there's no stopping now. Okay, there is no stopping now. You have to keep moving forward, whether that is towards or whether that is away, it doesn't matter. Okay, but we're working towards the truth, and the only way that you're going to get there is by releasing the emotion. Cancerians, I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it makes sense to you, and I hope it helps you during the month of November. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your love and support. And as always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.